Are you self-sabotaging your writing goals? That is the subject of today's video. Self-sabotage is a big subject for writers. It's a really common problem. Some of us are conscious that we do it, and some of us are unconscious that we do it. But whether we're conscious of it or not, it is still a major obstacle, and it can really cause a lot of pain for writers. Before we get too deep into today's video, I want to just say, first of all, thank you so much for all the messages and the emails I've gotten about the last two videos in this series, especially the last one. Why is it so hard to stay motivated with writing? The lack of writing motivation. This is, let me just say, the struggle is real. From so many emails and messages I got from people, this is something we're all struggling with. It's not just me. I felt a little bit relief about that because I have it too. But it's a lot of people. Lack of writing motivation is a big deal. Now, I am doing these videos because I'm teaching a new class this spring called Mastering Motivation, which I talked about in the last two videos, and so many people also emailed me and said, I need this class. This is exactly the boost I need. I need a kick in the butt to get my writing done, to be accountable with my goals, and to actually see some real progress. So I'm super excited for it, and I'm definitely on board. I'm super excited for it too. This is going to be a more intense class. This is going to be a class that really asks you to show up. Maybe not live, you can do the replays, but to really energetically show up and to make a serious commitment to yourself and your writing. The goal is that we're going to move from feeling stuck and unmotivated and alone and frustrated to feeling like we're seeing actual progress in our writing lives. We are feeling more satisfaction with ourselves as writers. We're feeling like we can say, I'm a writer, and mean it. It means a little bit more because we're actually hitting our writing goals. And we're going to be putting ourselves out there as writers in a little bit of a way that kind of pushes the comfort zone, that pushes you outside of what maybe you are normally used to or normally comfortable with. This is going to be a class that's focused on growth and evolution. Now, I'm a writing coach, and I've worked with hundreds of writers over the past 10 years, and I've seen writers struggle with all of these problems. Everything I talked about in the last two videos, and I'm going to talk about in this video: lack of writing motivation, feeling like you're going nowhere, writing frustration, feeling alone. It is possible to move past these big writing problems, but there needs to be certain things in place. And I talked about these in the last two videos too. Support, time commitment, community. I'll say it again: support, time commitment, community. Writers need these things. Even if you're like, I'm a total dyed-in-the-wool introvert, I don't need anybody, I'm an island. That is not true. Most writers are introverts, but most writers also need community. We also need other people who are safe and supportive and encouraging for us to blossom as writers. This is why so many writers struggle with the subject of this video, by the way, is because we don't have the support, we don't have the community, we don't have the time commitment, so we self-sabotage. We self-sabotage our writing goals. If you feel this way, if you're self-sabotaging, whether it's conscious or unconscious, you are scared to start. That's a big thing. You're scared to start projects. That's perfectionism, and that's procrastination right there. Two big red flags. You're holding yourself back in your writing. That's another thing I hear commonly reported. I am writing, but I can feel that I'm holding myself back. I'm not quite going all the way. I'm not letting myself go there, or I'm too scared to go there, or I'm not saying the thing I really need to say. I can feel that, but I don't know what the block is. That's fear. There's also a resistance to success and or abundance, right? So if you have this feeling of like, I do want to level up, but I'm also really scared of what might happen if I level up. That's part of it too, right? That's where the self-sabotage comes in, because there's that part of you that's like, I don't know, like maybe I should make sure that I don't actually hit those writing goals so I can kind of stay safe and comfortable in my comfort zone. If you have a resistance to success, you have a resistance to receiving abundance, that comes back to feeling undeserving. You feel like you're not worth it, right? You don't deserve to have those things. You also might feel like expectations might be placed on you that you can't possibly meet. So again, that comes back to fear. Now, self-sabotage happens when there's a conflict between our conscious mind and our unconscious mind. Like I said, it could happen whether you know what's going on or you don't know what's going on. But if it's happening at all, there is a conflict. There's a conflict between what you consciously know and what you unconsciously want. So you might consciously want to finish your novel or publish something or identify as a writer. That's in your mind. You see that. You're aware of that. You're like, yeah, I want to finish my book. I want to say I'm a writer. That's something I want in my life. But unconsciously, underneath the surface, buried where you can't see it, you're terrified that people will judge you or people will reject you. Or like I said, the success will come with expectations you can't meet. Now maybe you're aware of these fears as well. That still causes the conflict, right? So you want something, but you're scared of what's going to happen if you get that something. If we don't examine this conflict, if we don't bring it out into the light and we just kind of let it stay in the shadow side, it will always win because it will sort of kind of fester there in our unconscious mind. And the unconscious mind is always working. It's stronger. It never stops working, even while we're sleeping. So this is kind of this program, it's like always running, and we can't get past it. We have to really look at that conflict. We have to look at what's going on there. Why do we feel that way? What's the root of it? And work from there. It's the only way to solve it because that's how you can bring the two minds into alignment, what you really want and what you really want. So you want to bring those together so they're working together. The conscious mind and the unconscious mind, they're working together. You are in alignment. You're not fighting yourself. That's what's really happening when you're self-sabotaging. You are fighting yourself. A part of you is undermining another part of you, usually deceptively and in secret, but sometimes openly. But you are fighting yourself. And so it does feel like this push-pull, very frustrating battle within yourself. It drains a lot of energy. You cannot do this type of work alone because it's impossible to see your own blind spots. It's impossible to see any of this when you have no outside direction or support. That's what my new class is all about, Mastering Motivation. We're going to be setting real goals for ourselves and tracking our responses to those goals, watching ourselves. Oh, how do I react when I share some of my writing? How do I react when I get a little bit of writing success? How do I react when I make a time commitment to my writing? What are my emotions? Am I self-sabotaging? What's going on? So we can see exactly where we're blocked and we can create a plan to heal those places so that we can move forward. So this is going to take us from being writers who feel maybe not very successful, very frustrated, like we have a real lack of direction and lack of motivation, to a place where we can see real progress and we can celebrate real successes and real wins. Now, I will say this is going to be an intense 4-week program. There are 4 classes. There are 4 directed writing sessions. There are group sharing sessions. You do not have to show up live. Participation is not mandatory. It is optional. It's up to you. However, I will also say that it will be much more effective if you can show up live at least some of the time. And if you can plan to push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone and come to the group sharing sessions and at least watch other people step forward and share pieces of their writing and share their writing goals with the group. This is going to be a safe, supportive space. So no one's going to be pushed or forced to do anything they don't want to do. However, if you are really looking for a way to really accelerate your own growth and really challenge yourself, take a little bit of a risk, move outside of your comfort zone, this is going to be a good class for you. Like I said, it's going to be helpful too if you can make at least some of the sessions live, although you can also catch the replays. And of course, you'll get lifetime access to all of the recordings. I do that for all of my classes. This is a one-time only class. If you've ever done classes with me before, you know I only teach classes once. I think every class, especially the live classes, it's a unique experience. It's a certain group of people. We come together in a certain window of time and magic happens. And I don't really think it can be reproduced. And I don't really want to reproduce it, honestly. The classes feel so special. So really, this is a one-time only class. Now, again, it's going to be very intense for class members. and myself as well. That's also one of the reasons I'm only doing it once, because I have a full schedule and I don't think I'll have the opportunity to teach something like this again for quite some time, because there are going to be 4 classes and 4 directed writing sessions and group sharing and a lot of activity in the group I'm anticipating. I think this is going to be a big class. So I won't have the opportunity to teach something like this again. So this is your chance. Get in if you want in. Don't delay on it. Don't let the self-sabotage take over and the procrastination. Do this. Make the commitment to yourself. Make the energy commitment, the time commitment to your writing and to your creative life. I'm going to be opening up registration day after tomorrow. If you have questions, please email me. Please send me a message. Get a hold of me. I will get them answered for you. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do a lot of videos like these: intuition, creativity, writing, personality type, all sorts of things for highly sensitive writers and highly sensitive creatives. Please also subscribe to my email list. That is the best way to stay informed about all of my different offerings. I do classes, I do workshops, I do a silent writing program, I do a lot of different things, so please sign up for my newsletter. You also get a free book for highly sensitive writers. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I really hope I see you in this class. It already has a lot of big energy around it, and I'm super excited, so hopefully I will see you there.